time for the Shop Report with
Barbershop Jay.
Those sports fans, welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop Jay. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. Of course, we want to remind you the Shop Report is brought to you by Rocket Digital Media. I'm going to back us out of here for a minute. It's the one-stop shop for all your digital marketing needs. You can look them up on Facebook at RDM Detroit, or you can slide on over to the website, rocketdigital.net. That's ROCKIT digital.net. And make sure when you're there, while you're there, you tell them the BSJ sent you. And for my folk out there in TV land, if you want to leave your questions or comments during today's program, by all means, please do so. We will throw it up on the screen. And y'all know what's coming next. If you're one of them folks that wants to leave a question or comment that's indignant or ignorant in nature, it won't be seen on this screen. Now, here's ordinarily why I will give y'all the matter of fact, here's what you're getting. I hit the sound pad, but for whatever reason, my sound pad effects are not working as they should. We went back and watched a couple of the shows. So we, as always, when you're doing this type of deal, man, this type of thing, man, technical difficulties are par for the course. But anywho, with that being said,
you should tell them that, you know, you're running this off of a IBM 386 from 1999.
Wow,
you need to upgrade it. So that way they kind of know what's going on.
So then you're going to say something that will require me giving you a button, knowing that I can't give you a button.
Oh, all day, bro. All day.
Got you. Yeah,
he ain't got no left hand. He ain't got no left hand. Go ahead, attack the left.
Yeah. With that being said, joining me on the program is my cat from the CO alum bus, D Gully. I'm glad you could join us. We should be getting Double J and a few other people. Don't clap. We should be getting Double J and a few other people to join us here shortly.
If you can't give yourself a hand, why do you expect it from others? Come on, Dawa's right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay, got you. See, this is what I'm talking about, y'all. When I don't have when I can't even get it out.
He like this.
All right. Okay. Anyway, Canelo have her ass not. When I ain't got my buttons, you see, this is what we in for today. I just want to let y'all know. But anywho, well, let us just start the show. And again, this is why we hit a button, but I don't have my sound effects once again are not working. But anywho, we got a few items on the menu we want to get to. But before I get to that, let me share something with you all. Okay, I'm in a few Facebook sports groups. All right, excuse me. And one of them is in particular is called the Basketball Network. And we got a few members, 29,000, I do believe. So, you know, they pretty full, so to speak. But anywho, somebody posted a picture. Okay. And even though we're talking Hoop Central, so I guess you could add this to maybe our little part of our Hoop Central segment. But I want to start what I was going to start with, it was not this. So let me start with this first. But anyway, somebody posted a picture in the group of Ben Simmons. All right, let me see if I can add this. Double J is not here with us. He's the one who usually does all of this. So cross your fingers, bear with me. Let me see if I can get to this right here. Okay. All righty. All right, here we go.
You need a button for congratulations that you did that right.
This is the disrespect. I want you to check this out right quick, okay? Here's the picture of Ben Simmons. All right, let me just show you the caption that went along with the picture. Now, I don't mean to show the person's name who wrote this. Let me see. Get that out of the way. Anyway, they said they was hoping Ben get back to being a great addition for a team. I'm wondering, when was he ever a great addition? Number one, he said they said everybody don't have to score. That's the one that got me. Okay. And then he said Robin is the greatest addition ever, in my opinion. All right, I won't mess with that. All right, but let me show you all my response to this post or whatnot. I'm sorry. Then they say, look, Ben Simmons is in fantastic shape. There are a few things here I want to address. You see, excuse me. You see how I responded with the ha with the funny. What is going on with people posting these steal shots of players and then making captions? This is NBA updates now. Ben Simmons is in fantastic shape. What does that mean? How him being in fantastic shape gonna help his game, his jump shot, or his want to or not want to score? Well, stop posting this stuff. We done seen, and I ain't picking on him, but I'm gonna mention him too. we done seen enough of the athletes in the picture reading the book and been on the same page for 10 years, man. Come in,
Right.
cut me in and
Listen.
cut it out, bro.
But look at the quote. Look at the actual caption. Read the caption.
You talking about down here?
No, yeah, the look part, right? Read the caption.
Yeah.
It says Ben Simmons is in quote fantastic shape.
I know, and I know they being sarcastic, I guess, here in this case. But listen, bro. But a lot of
what I'm emphasizing is I don't think it's sarcasm. It's kind of like, hey, here's the reference point. We'll see how this transpires. I don't think it's sarcasm. It's like, look, we just let you know what it looked like now. Let's see if it translates to him being the leader of a team. Wait a minute, is he still with the? Where is he? Is he still with the Nets?
Exactly. Did you I can't even get it out. Where is he?
Where is he?
Exactly.
Yeah, like I really want to know.
James Harden in Shanghai.
Yeah, is he still with the Nets, or did he get released from that?
I don't have a clue, bro. I don't have a clue. Remember now, all of the focus is on guy being the top 5 pick and all that type of stuff, right? But anyway, here's my comments. As you can see, I say everybody may not have to score, but his ascot better be able to, being a point guard and all. Oh, Robin chose not to score. There's a big difference between not wanting to. By NBA standards, Simmons is a bum. Okay. Then they responded to me, he's not a point guard, he's a defender. What does explain that to me? Yeah, thank you. Explain that to me. What does that mean?
This is where the ABA that you say references takes
and basketball.
He is not a point guard. He is a defender. You're supposed to always be a defender, irrespective of position. Even if we went to the era of positionless basketball, we say he's the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we don't define them as 5, 4, whatever else. He's not a point guard. He's a defender. He's supposed to. You're supposed to have that with you. If you want to be anything,
that should be standard.
If you want to
automatic,
be right? Well, apparently, even for today, the only out I'll give you this: you can be an NBA player and still make any type of money. Still make a nice check playing the game you love, and not be great. But if you want to be anything other than good, you're going to be a two-way player.
But did you hear what you just said?
Yeah.
Since when? That's a bad sign for your product if we're classifying guys as two-way players, which means there are not enough players who give effort on both ends.
Absolutely. No, that's absolutely.
It used to be a standard.
However,
now it's organic.
However,
you see what I'm saying? And they're charging you more because they put a sweet little cute name on it. It's organic. What does that mean?
However, though, when we look at our top 10 players, very few of them top 10 players do you think are one? Like Steph gets derided.
They're on one side of the ball or the other.
No. No. When you look at the top 10 or top 5, they are.
Go ahead.
If you look at today's top 10, top 5 players, we want to rank the NBA players, the roster, the total NBA roster, all 365 players of them. Those top 5 or top 10 players are going to be, a great deal of them are going to be two-way players. They're going to be like Giannis. He's a threat offensively and defensively. Okay. Anthony Davis, when healthy, is a threat offensively and defensively. All right. Anybody that's considered great, Luka seemed to get a pass.
Why, I don't know, but go ahead.
Well, I can think of why. Luka gets a pass. They tend, and the two that kind of baffle me are Kyrie and Steph.
Okay, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Let me finish this. Hold that thought. Let me finish this, and then we'll let you. And then we get back to me and you, and then we dive into it. Then I said, a defender, talking about Ben, who is still more potential than actual production. What's his excuse on the other end? By NBA standards, he's vastly overrated and can't hit a bull in the backside with his jump shot to save his life.
Scroll down so we can see that.
Not to mention he's afraid to score. Hold on.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, not to mention he's afraid to score. I don't care what position he plays. Got to be able to do that is what I should. That's my fault for leaving that out. God was so quick to respond. But anywho, then somebody else weighs in. Now they talking about Rodman. Rodman couldn't score. He didn't choose not to score. And I replied, better do some research. He chose not to. Then, of course, they replied again, no, he didn't. I seen him play. No research needed. And then here's what I said. In college alone now, the man was a 3-time NAIA All-American, averaging, y'all see it, points and rebounds per. And he also said when he came to the Pistons, they had enough scoring, so let me focus on other parts of the game to help the team. Also, why Aguirre went to Daly at one point and said, start him over me because he's way better. And then I said, obviously, I seen him play too. Before that, I read about him. You might want to check out his autobiography. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he did. Right. That's why he had no issues playing in Chicago. The way that they played, the way that the game was being played, the scoring was done by Jordan, Pippen, and then you'd have Kukoc or the supporting cast, depending on who was hot that night. Rodman never really needed to score. I would say. Wow.
Well, we got another addition to the show. Shout out to Double J. I'm glad to use the logo today. Even though it's Mike is muted.
Driving to Watkins Glen. Oh boy, what's at Watkins Glen? He's probably signed a new deal for more imported Lucia. Oh, man, Watkins.
Yeah. But go ahead, finish what you're saying now.
Oh no, but I would say, if someone's looking at Rodman, probably in San Antonio or in Chicago, things you don't use, you do lose. So at a point where he got into Chicago, it did look like he had difficulty. He didn't have a back to the basket type of game. He had a limited offensive game, but by then he wasn't using that skill set. So he wasn't practicing that skill set. His job was rebounds, saving possessions, and agitating on defense. If he needed to do that, if Phil and the staff say, listen, man, we down a bit, we're gonna need you to score. I guarantee you Rodman would have been in practice, redefining his back to the basket game, coming up with a nice 2-bucket, 2-step layup package or anything like that. He didn't do that because he didn't need that at the point of his career. He chose not to score.
He didn't need that in Detroit, and he didn't need it in Chicago. What you need to be a third option for when Mike could give you 60 or 50 or 60 or 40 or however many. And then it wasn't even about so many the volume of points as it was in the moments that I keep asking people all day, every day. Signature players do signature players make signature plays in the signature moments of a signature game. Rodman was it was another thing, excuse me, people don't realize, I can't remember what game it was, but Rodman was asked about Mike, playing with Mike versus Isaiah, I think. And he said, with Zeke, we knew we was gonna get, it was gonna go down. He said, but when Mike was in the game, bro, with the game on the line, he said, I was asking the other dudes, man, where we going, who paying for dinner tonight? You know what I'm saying? Where we going to eat? In other words, it was a no-brainer. So what Rodman need to do, Rodman don't need to be that third, he don't need to be James Harden, the OKC.
Right.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Rodman just knew, okay, we're going to need more, if Mike is that dude, especially back then, Mike is that dude where if I give him 5, 10 extra more possessions, then that gives us more, our chances on winning go up even more exponentially, however you want to say it. Oh, okay. Got you, Double J.
Yeah, no. I'm here.
Oh, okay. You here? Oh, you here. Okay, got you. Oh, yeah. Where are you still at Watkins Glen?
I'm apparently about an hour and a half out still. So
what's going on at Watkins Glen today?
He's going to buy a race car.
NASCAR.
Yeah, he's going to buy. Yeah.
You about to get a team? Oh man, fantastic! Who's your driver?
No. He's not getting a team. He's not getting a team. This is his bonus he got from Rocket Digital. They gave him a bonus.
They gave him a whole race car.
Yeah,
no. Toyota Motors.
His bonus was in had some zeros behind it, but then he decided to hop on the next thing smoking and went down and Watkins Glen get ready to buy a car. Double J, who you buying? The Miller Lite car? Or the Modelo?
No. Yeah, we would. That would be an interesting, alternative.
Yes, what I'm saying.
Especially just given, I think there's a lucrative opportunity there. You might have spoke something into existence.
Really?
Remember back in the day.
I'm here. I am to please.
Think about like that was at the time, in the sport itself, the person who was given that particular sponsorship had to really like be that guy. There were not a lot of people that were given. Now, again, things have changed, and we've yet to really see them enter this space. And maybe, certainly, if I were, pulling some strings and looking for some new opportunities, I would be going and exploring this one myself. But no, to answer Gully's question, driver is Chase Elliott, so he needs a win in the worst way. He started off the season with a broken leg because he flies himself everywhere. So when he was supposed to be in Vegas, he flew to Colorado and then got a skiing accident.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So there you go.
Here in Colorado.
Hey, player empowerment, right? Isn't that look at that. There you go.
Well, I'll tell you what. Once you get the car, man, just let me know if you need a driver.
I'm going to say this though. There's a few points about Rodman, and I only heard, I didn't hear the portion from the post itself. I only heard kind of Gully in your response. And so right away, when it came to the addition of Rodman, Phil Jackson specifically asked Michael Jordan, could he control him? And he said yes. That was actually stated in The Last Dance. Now, to your point, when it came to the Game 6, I believe in Utah of that game itself, in that last possession, Dennis knew he's on record of saying all I had to do was get the bleep out of the way, and
exactly
you can see him actually scamper because he was kind of in the path of MJ in the beginning of the play from about 3/4 court.
You talking about the Byron Russell shot?
You talking about as far as it almost sounded like the post was trying to marginalize his role on the team and yes, correct.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You got a little delay. Yeah.
That was he was told to get the bleep out of the way. That was all you needed to do. And shockingly, again, they all covered. They stayed one-on-one with everybody. Nobody. I mean, the way that was guarded defensively is probably Jerry Sloan's biggest mistake. Because it just why would you cover Dennis Rodman?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but Double J. Let me.
Ultimately, it was just bad defense on Utah's part, but it's just interesting because.
Oh shucks, we lost your audio. Double J. I'm gonna mute you on that side. I'm gonna have to read to him. I'm gonna have to read to him, when we get him back here. I'm gonna have to read to him what it is the whole post and such was about. Yeah, we'll get him back here in a second. But at the end of the day, man, for all y'all out there to think Rodman couldn't score, he could. He just chose not to.
Exactly.
Okay, because he saw both teams he was on when he got drafted by the Pistons. He was like, "Look, man, everybody at this level is somebody, even by NBA standards." Most folks considered nobody. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So he saw right away, let me get in here and see what can I do to make my niche. And at the same time, be that Double J, your mic is muted still. Yeah, and at the same time, let me find a role that will also be significant in the outcomes of games.
Sure. Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, he listen, Mike and Scotty and Kerr and all of them, and I know Kerr wasn't.
No, we're good. Ultimately, he knew the role that he needed to play on that team. Michael had to go get him from Vegas. There you go.
Yeah, but Double J, here's what that was all about. I'm in a Facebook group, Basketball Network, and somebody put up a post.
It's crazy that it says full LTE.
Was you? Oh, okay,
Oh,
got you. Yeah,
he
somebody
must
put
have.
up a post. What you
Go
say,
ahead.
Gully?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, somebody put up a post, Double J. Obviously a picture of Ben Simmons, and they say, look, Ben Simmons is in fantastic shape. And I weighed in, and the person who put the post up said, hoping Ben get back to being a great addition for a team. I don't recall Ben ever being a great addition, athletically and talent-wise, maybe, but that don't translate to production. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? I don't know why,
yeah.
folks. Go ahead. What?
No, I mean, at least at the start of his career in Philadelphia, he was fairly productive.
Man, okay, he was fairly almost like Zion. Even though for
Well,
different reasons, Zion's ain't there. What I'm saying is, man, it didn't. So you gave us a glimpse. How long?
yeah.
How long you supposed to get credit for being a glimpse?
Well, they have to play it up because remember they took that glimpse that they saw in LSU was what compelled them to take them in Philadelphia, and that glimpse is what is what compelled them to trade Jimmy Butler.
No, it was that. Well, that too, and that glimpse of his talent and the measurables. Here we go.
Yeah.
It always come back to the measurables.
He is 6'9",
They looked
so
at
on
it
and so forth.
Yeah, exactly. He's 6'9". He just at that. Okay, but again, what can he do? You understand? And we've seen him, Simmons, on more than one occasion, get right to the cup and pass 75 yards out.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You got a wide open dunk and you kicking it out for what? Because he don't want the backlash from if he miss or if he don't come through in them moments, man. Pressure bust pipes.
Yeah.
Pressure bust pipes. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, as far as the whole Dennis Rodman couldn't score, I ain't buying it. I'm gonna tell you again. Go read his autobiography, and I'm saying his autobiography. But when you read it, go read what the people who watched him and such what they had to say about him, not what he had to say about himself, because he really didn't do no self-proclamations and promotions, not even in his autobiography. But anyway, yeah, let's move.
Hang on. What do you mean he couldn't score? He just never needed to.
There was no. That was
Double J.
That's
not Double J. Man, okay. Are you ready?
That was
Can you hear it?
The tape delay. Just blame it on the tape delay. No, it was the assertion that through the comments that he was with that Rodman couldn't score. I said here in the later parts of his career, when he was with the Bulls, probably in San Antonio, even when he was with the Bulls, that's a part of the game that he never really worked on because he never needed to. And so there was evidence that it did atrophy because, I mean, if you're not using it, you're going to lose it. But if the role on the team changed where he was compelled to, hey, I need you to be able to give us 10 points a night. I need you to give us 8 to 10 points a night. Without question, Rodman would have developed a back to the basket game. He'd have had a layup package. He would have been able to score. He never needed to do it because his role on the team was run, agitate, get rebounds, keep possessions, get possessions, and agitate the best defender. And that's what he had fun doing.
At the end of the day, everybody can't be the chef or might not want to be the chef. Hey, I'll go get the groceries. Hey, I'll go get the silverware. You see what I mean?
So let me ask a question then, because you guys brought up Ben Simmons, and then of course we're defending Rodman.
No. Hold on, Double J. Let me read you the whole post, okay?
Yep, go for it.
Okay. In this group, Basketball Network, somebody put up a post with a picture of Ben Simmons. And in the post, it was saying Ben Simmons is in fantastic shape, right? And comeback season and all that stuff. And I had a couple of questions. I'm like, a picture of Ben Simmons dribbling 2 basketballs, and it translates to being a comeback season. How? Okay. It's the game is he's going to be in a moment where all eyes are going to be on him. And is he going all that he could be 2% body fat? What in the has that got to do with him right at the rim for a dunk and throwing the ball, kicking the ball out to Steph Curry all the way and go to the state? That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so these miss me with these steal shots of these guys as if though that's going to translate to them all of a sudden averaging 30 and 10.
But where did the Rodman come into play with this?
I'm getting to that. Settle down now. I know you're trying to get to Watkins Glen. What you rushing, man? Man, don't. Hey, you see, this
These
is what happens.
Western New York speed limits of 65 is ridiculous. It's
Yeah, bro.
On top of these mountainous areas that make me feel like I'm in Kentucky, it's very strange.
Yeah, settle down there, Kimo. So gather yourself now. But anyway, the person along with this picture of Ben Simmons said, hoping Ben gets back to being a great addition for a team. And I said, when was he ever a great addition for a team? Okay. Then they also said, everybody don't have to score. And they mentioned Rodman. They said Rodman is the greatest addition ever, in my opinion. So then I weighed in. I said everybody may not have to score, but his ascot, talking about Ben, better be able to, being a point guard and all. Oh, and Rodman chose not to score. Big difference between not wanting to. By NBA standards, Simmons is a bum. And that person responded back. He's not a point guard, talking about Ben. He's a defender. Huh? Head scratching moment. That might be why players don't pan out. GMs, coaches use them wrong. And then I said, a defender who is still more potential than actual production. What's his excuse on the other end? By NBA standards, he's vastly overrated and can't hit a bull in the backside with his jump shot. Not to mention, he's afraid to score. I don't care what position he plays. You got to be able to do that. Then some other person weighed in and said, Rodman couldn't score. He didn't choose not to score. And then I said to that other person, better do some research. He chose not to. Then the other person responded again. No, he didn't. I seen him play. No research needed. Then I said, in college alone, the man was a 3-time NAIA All-American, averaging 25.7 points and 15.7 rebounds per. Said when he came to the Pistons, they had enough scoring, so let me focus on other parts of the game to help the team, as was the case when he went to Chicago, his mindset. And there's also why Aguirre went to Daly at one point and said, start Rodman over me. He's better. Then I said to that person, I saw him play too. Before that, I read about him. You might want to check out his auto. Go ahead, Double J. What say you?
Well, I like the comparison, at least surface level, because you're right. He's not a point guard anymore. He's either a 4. I would say a strong 4 at this point, instead of the 5. But can he get away with? No. Look.
He's an offensive liability.
Well, okay, but here again, wait a minute. The comparison to Dennis, you could look at him no different than Ben Wallace, right? As a offensive liability, that you're playing 5-on-4 offensively. But this is where the utilization of the player, right? We've seen it historically work. I'm probably Ben Simmons, one of his biggest critics. So this is kind of a strange turn of events, but the problem with the whole post altogether is that his athleticism was never the reason that he wasn't excelling in the game. It was his jump shot or lack thereof. So again, while it's kind of a moot point, it is kind of interesting to at least consider, could he make a living essentially replicating the role of guys like as an elite defender? And it certainly would be a question mark. If he establishes his jump shot, then he may be an all-star again.
Yeah, but listen, he's a primary player. Rodman was never really a primary player. What I'm saying is, if you look at Ben Simmons was drafted to do what? Rodman was drafted to do what? The Pistons didn't draft Dennis Rodman for Dennis Rodman to be a focal point on any of the teams that Dennis Rodman was on via trade. No, nothing. Any of the teams Rodman was on, nobody was looking at him to be no focal point. Ben Simmons was drafted to be the focal point.
Right.
Period.
As Gully pointed out, that was with the 76ers, not with the Brooklyn Nets.
Okay, listen, but any team that Ben Simmons been on, they not getting him to be a Rodman. Listen, for all points and purposes, we always talk about draft stock. I told you, any pick can be a hit or miss. You know, that's my philosophy. But let's use the philosophy that's par for the course. If a guy gets drafted high and ends up playing the role of a Dennis Rodman, that's a fail. That's a fail. Nobody drafted Ben Simmons to be Dennis Rodman.
Wait, why is it a fail?
Unless that was the intention.
Now wait a minute, Gully. Hang on. If they achieve the same accolades as Dennis Rodman in the modern NBA, is that still considered a fail?
Yes, it is.
No.
Because you yes, unless you are drafting, unless you say for this team, like, all right, let's see, who won the NBA title this year?
The Nuggets.
The Nuggets are
let's say they drafted,
offensively. No, let's say
go use Kentavious Caldwell Pope.
No, well, I was going to say this. Almost like let's use the Nuggets. The Nuggets are complete offensively. Let's say they happen to find themselves like the 2003 Pistons or the 2004 Pistons, right? Where they happen to win the NBA title, but for whatever reason, they luck up and they're able to draft in the top 5, or they end up with the top pick. They end up with a spoil of riches. If they, with that pick, say, we want to get the best defensive stopper, best defensive player that we can get, knowing what we have to do offensively in free agency, then you grab that, right? You don't settle on a guy that a top 10, a top pick, period, a top 5, top 10 pick, that his net contribution to a team ends up being he's the defender, because you want a lot more productivity out of that pick because of what his potential is. Because everybody else in the top 10, you think about the top 10 players in the country, none of them are just defensive stalwarts. All of them are well-rounded players. So if a guy to settle there is a bit of a miss.
This is why I have to disagree, because of that very same draft you're referring to. Okay, and the Pistons added Darko Milicic, an 18-year-old, who certainly was not going to contribute or fulfill any of those things. Not what he ultimately did, which is nothing at all, but just in the immediate, what the expectation
they passed on Melo.
That makes me sick to my stomach every day of my life. It does.
Proves my point.
Exactly. But let me ask this question, Double J. Let me ask you this question, and you too, Gully.
All right.
Regardless of position, was Rodman versus Simmons drafted to be that dude? Which one was drafted to be that dude? Or
Ben
with
Simmons.
the expectations? Exactly. Ben Simmons. So for Ben Simmons, and here's my killer part. Here's my whole thing about him. Period. Here's my whole thing about him. Whether you want to talk about his talent, whether you want to make a case about his talent, that's fine. Whether you want to make a case about his height, that's fine. I'm making a case for, or should I say in this case against, he gets right to the rim and will pass out. Period. So then, by default, now we got to find a place for you. Now we got to figure out a role for you because you scared. Okay? I don't want to hear it. Dennis Rodman and Ben Simmons, there is no comparison except for maybe the measurables. After that, like I said before, different situation, premise is the same. There's a difference between a male and a man, an alpha male and a masculine man. You get what I'm trying to say? All right, that might be going a little far down the road, but I'm just saying there's no comparison between Dennis Rodman and Ben Simmons. Dennis Rodman was the type of dude who could, but when he got to camp and he seen Isaiah Thomas, and if I'm not mistaken, when he first got there, Adrian Dantley was still there, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Adrian Dantley, okay? So the Pistons had, and not Mark Aguirre, excuse me, Joe Dumars. The Pistons had dudes who could do that. Rodman was like, man, I ain't about to come in here and try to be that guy and then end up being the 12th guy on the bench. He said, oh, wow, Double J, the logo is gone. Oh, my gosh. Rodman came in and said, listen, I'm gonna find me a role, and I'm gonna make that role relevant.
Right.
Ben Simmons is taking pictures with 2 basketballs in his hand. Now all of a sudden he come back. Yeah, okay, sit back down.
Well, remember too, we don't know where that picture came from.
What difference do it make?
It does.
Why? The
Why?
NBA, it was, you seen the NBA's logo was up there, NBA update.
Yeah, but that don't mean right. So that don't mean his publicist did that. I can't say he didn't. I'm not saying for certain that
Okay,
his
well
publicist
then,
didn't.
okay, we'll strike that picture. I'm talking about what about all the other ones we've seen him in the very same type of pose.
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. And don't none of it translate. He been taking pictures. Okay, yeah, just like the guy who's sitting reading a book and is still on page 1. Anyway,
Man, stop it. Okay, it's not today.
Okay, I got you. Anyway, yeah, let's keep things rolling right along. Yeah, right now we're gonna go Hoop Central again, or continue with our Hoop Central. Team USA versus Canada in the FIBA. You all know the 25th, I think, in a few days here, the FIBA World Championship, the World Cup in hoop is coming up or whatnot. I haven't had a chance to watch many of the games, but I did watch the one which USA played Spain, and they handled them pretty well. Won by 10, I believe, 98-88, and they handled them pretty well. But here's the thing. This is why this is a topic today. And I thought we was going to have a few more people on here to discuss this. Double J, you good over there? Bear with me, y'all. Let me send him a did I hear something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here, but it's these mountains, so I'm going in and out.
Okay. All right. Well, do what you can. All right. As long as we got you here when we can, what you got. Anyway, this is why this is a topic for today, in part. My coworker, our GM, Ricardo Stafford, and I, maybe, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago now, we had a back and forth. And he said, man, Team Canada gonna beat Team USA. I was like, what? I said, man, you see Rays. He's like, I'm telling you. And the first thing he did was throw out Shy. Am I saying that right? Or Shea? SGA for Oklahoma City. Shea Gilgeous, Alex, forgive me for butchering your name, bro. I mean, it is 72 letters. My gosh, first, middle, and last. Help me out. And you're not gonna help me out? Okay, got you.
I'm looking for
Okay, got you. Anyway, Ricardo and I going back and forth. He's saying because of Shea, take your pick, and Jamal Murray at the time, that's at the time me putting these together, was going to smash Team USA. Or excuse me, going to beat Team USA. Let me be more specific. I said, Ricardo, have you seen Team USA's roster from top to bottom? I said, you looking at the top of Team Canada's roster and swear they're going to beat from top to bottom Team USA's roster? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So let me read to you all the rosters. Minus now Jamal Murray. So that makes, should these two meet, I'm really now up in the ante on Team USA. I'm going to start with Team USA's roster.
No. Read Canada's first.
Okay. We'll read.
The punchline, the punchline would be said before the joke if you read USA's first.
Okay. Well, at the time of preparing for the show, this is Team Canada's roster. Kyle Alexander, Nickel, like Nickel, Alexander Walker, RJ, this that would have been a button. RJ Barrett, Trey Bell Haynes, O'Shea, I'm thinking that's Ice Cube's son, Brissett, Dylan Brooks, Lou Dort, Zach Edey, Double J's boy, who really probably ain't got no business on the team, but we'll wait till Double J come back to have his say on that. Melvin Edgem, as I mentioned, SGA, Corey Joseph, Jamal Murray was, but now here recently, I just found out the other day that Jamal Murray is out. He's not playing. Kelly Olynyk, Kevin Pangos, Pangos, Dwight Powell, Cassius, not Clay, Robertson, and both Phil and Thomas Scrub. Because that's what this team looked like, a bunch of scrubs. I'm just saying, no disrespect.
When did you how recently is that roster?
That was maybe at the time of me putting these notes together, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 days ago.
Okay.
You see something current?
Yeah, no, maybe their page hasn't updated because I went to the roster. That your roster is a bit different than.
Yeah, I think the roster you might be looking at probably got about 16, 18 players on it.
Yeah, I'm on the FIBA site, but it may not be updated
No. Yeah, no. This is mine. Well, I don't know, but I just got this a couple days ago.
Yeah, because Corey Joseph, that name don't show up on this one.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
notwithstanding. Okay, now let me read Team USA's roster. Okay.
Right.
Paolo Banchero, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, my man Edwards. I'm just Edwards.
Yeah.
Minnesota. Okay. Tyrese Halliburton, Brandon Ingram, Jaren Jackson, Cam Johnson, Walker Kessler, Bobby Portis, Austin Reeves.
Did you read Tyrese Halliburton? Is he still on that?
Yeah, Halliburton. Did I read Halliburton? Yeah, Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
So from top to bottom, and I don't know how many, because at the time I even got this, I think that Team Canada had a few more players than Team USA, but a few players may have been removed or something. I don't know how many, what the roster limit is once they get to playing the actual games, because right now it's been qualifiers and warm-ups, whatever the case may be. So let me put that out there. You know, at the time of when play starts on the 25th August here, 25th, 2023, these rosters may be, they may just be 12 per team. I don't know.
Right.
But the point is, from top to bottom, and let's say Jamal Murray for hypothetical, or for the sake of its and giggles, let's say Jamal Murray's on this roster. From top to bottom, you mean to tell me you're not picking Team USA? Should these two meet from top to bottom? You can't look at Jamal Murray and Shai and think that that's going to beat Team USA when do I need to read Team USA's roster again? Oh, and just for the heck of it, I'm gonna throw in the coaches too for Team USA. For the coach Canada.
No, Canada. Yeah, Canada's coaches first.
I really couldn't tell you because I couldn't pronounce none of the names. I'm just saying, that's what was required a button. You know, I mean, you might want to look them up, okay, yourself, and then maybe you could pronounce it. I'll leave you with that task. Yeah, exactly. Unenviable it is what it is. But just for the sake of it, the coaches for Team USA is Steve Kerr, Spo, Lou, and Few.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. All righty then. So yeah, holla at your boy Ricardo.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you, like, kind of related but unrelated, bro. The FIBA, the logo, bro, is just giving me Minnie Ripperton Minnie Ripperton LaFleur's vibes, bro. Did you see the logo for this thing?
Yeah, I did.
It's like a sideways heart with the flowers. It's man, bro. Listen, look, I'm that's why I was like, if you saw me on the stream and I looked like I was in a daze. I'm gonna just show you, bro. Like,
Double J, you still there?
Sure am.
Okay. You want anything to say about Team USA versus Team Canada? With or without Jamal Murray?
You said you watched the Spain game and you're convinced that they would just run over Canada.
No.
What in that game?
No. I'm saying to you what I said from the beginning before watching Spain. I just mentioned they beat Spain to say that they beat Spain, not to say that it would lend itself to, because I don't think Team USA will win it all.
Who do you think could?
Well, wait a minute. Let me get to that. I'm saying from my sticking point, from top to bottom, Team USA has a better roster than Team Canada, especially now without Jamal Murray. Do I need Double J? Do you want me to read Team Canada's roster again?
Well, I would actually suggest you look at the maybe 2004 roster that Team USA had, which would be better than the current roster. And that one wasn't capable of winning anything. So,
because there was a lot more ego.
That roster, that roster
had a lot more ego.
Correct, which is what I don't see.
That's the last thing you want.
Yeah.
See, once again, everybody looking, that 2004 roster had more household names. But if you look at this Team USA roster right now, they're young dudes, they hungry. Kerr's been going with the same lineup, and the egos are left at the door.
Right.
They all want it. They can't look at just the names, man. The names on the door ain't what get it done, man. That 2014 had better names, it did. But these young dudes right here, what you're starting to see and what I'm grateful for is the mindset or mentality of these dudes that's on this squad in particular. They don't nobody want to have to be the guy to score 40 a night. It ain't about let me get mines.
Yeah.
Halliburton is averaging how many assists per game so far in the qualifiers? 100.
Right.
Name me somebody on that 2014 in terms of namesake that's better than Halliburton, but was averaging what Halliburton is averaging.
Right.
How about your boy Double J?
What Dwayne Wade?
Dwayne Wade didn't
Carmelo
average
Anthony?
no 10. They didn't average. Yeah, they were better names, but they didn't average no 10 plus.
Well, LeBron James certainly did.
Oh man, stop it. Stop it. Yeah, okay. Got you. Hey, listen. And LeBron James is a far better name than Halliburton. And Halliburton ain't got nowhere near the size ego. Once again, let me say, I'm not suggesting that Team USA will win the whole thing. But what I'm saying to you is I like watching this team because they play cohesively as a unit. Thank you.
What I saw had proven my point about this same team, that unit or not, they can lose as one as well. The way you're framing it.
Jesus.
Simply put, this team struggled against the Hernan Gomez, which is a far cry from the Gasol brothers of yesteryear. And
Gormans is not a bum, but while you throw that out there, you're right.
He's struggling to stay in the league. I mean, this is like that movie with Adam Sandler. I mean, he really is.
Oh wow, really?
Bo Cruz.
But listen, okay, so you're right. They could lose as a team. But I seen once again, what Olympics was it that team that had more names on it lost? And it took Kobe to come save the day. So I'm not saying that they will win. I'm just saying I like the attitude and the mentality of this team more so than I do the household name team. Any team can lose. Shucks. Team USA in the Olympics lost to who? And when? Manu Ginobili. And they had way more household names than the team that lost, that won. So you're right. This team could lose. So saying this team will lose ain't no more, no less than that team that already lost in the Olympics.
I can tell you this, based on, again, it was a 1-point game at halftime, which was really, again, it was awfully telling because that wasn't their first tune-up game, if you want to call it that. It was against a little bit better quality overall. And at the same time, well, you're right, they did. And it was more so how they won, where they really exploited the transition game and simply just having some better one-on-ones because Spain simply couldn't really defend. So unless they were set, that was their best case. So they exploited it, and that's why they won by double digits. But that game was far closer than that final score even may have shed light on. And if you're telling me that you're going to have scorers and defenders like some of the names you mentioned there, and it's FIBA rules, which means as soon as that ball goes on that rim, a 7'3" guy like Zach Edey can just swat it off there. Very interesting.
Listen.
Oh, so all that was the plug for Zach Edey.
Zach Edey, right? That's all.
That's what that was. Oh my gosh! Zach Edey.
They just need to win the first game. If Canada wins the first game, unlike what happened to Purdue and NCAA tournament, I think.
Well, he's got some better shooters around him this time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Zach Edey. I got it. All righty. Yeah. Well.
I hear you though, Double J.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think anybody is fearful of Zach Edey. You know, nor Chet Holmgren, or first step Chet. Excuse me. Or I can't think of the other guy's name, but yeah, Paolo, Bridges, Brunson, Edwards, Halliburton, Ingram, Jaren Jackson, Cam Johnson.
Did you see what happened to? Did you see what happened to Dylan Brooks? Right.
What happened to him? No, I didn't.
No, was that an exhibition game? Double J, did you see the highlights?
What happened to him?
He
got set down, like a
potty break. Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah.
My whole contention is Team USA from top to bottom is better than Team Canada from top to bottom.
But what team do you think can win it all?
I don't. No. It's because to me, I just think the whole because it's what 25 groups seem like.
Yeah.
After I got to Group G, I was like, my gosh, you know me, I fell asleep. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know. Oh, and again, let me remind people, please. When the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals, that is not a world championship. Okay. Whoever wins the the FIBA tournament will indeed be world champions. You have to play. It is. What you mean?
No, it's not true.
You can't play the Los Angeles Lakers and the Boston Celtics and be a world champion.
No, it qualifies as a world champion because players from around the world could play in the NBA.
Okay, but listen, but really, that's what you're doing. I wish I had the button at that moment. Really, that's what you're doing.
That's why
really?
I'm telling you. That's why, because players from
yeah.
around the world can play in the league.
How can you be a world champion
because
you're not playing against the world?
Yes, you are. They just got to get
drafted. You're playing against players.
Listen,
really?
At the point when you deal with at the point that Tony Parker is a Finals MVP, you can call it a world championship, even if you couldn't call it that years before, because he's
whoa. Okay, no, okay, go ahead. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, go ahead. I'm smacking this
because he's an international player. So he played draft. He's from France, so he's from across the world, and he made his way to an NBA roster as one of the world's best players. So by on that
definition,
on that technicality, you can say world basketball champions.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, all right. Anyway, I wish I had a button. Yeah, we're gonna move right along. We're gonna keep the show going.
You don't like that one.
Yeah, I don't. It's not. Yeah, because
I got that one in before the bell rang. Oh, he got that shot in right. Ding, round over.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out when George Mikan won the NBA Finals, what they call him the World Championship. But anyway, yeah, exactly. And there wasn't no Manu Ginobili's on that team or in the league back then anyway. Yeah, but anyway, we move things right along to the gridiron. We profile in the AFC East this go around. I don't have my buttons, y'all. I feel some type of way. I ain't got my buttons to work here. But anywho, up first, the Buffalo Bills. After two bitter playoff losses to both the Chiefs, we all seen the 13-second game, right?
Yeah.
And the Bengals, has the Super Bowl window begun to close?
Absolutely.
Oh, do tell.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to hear this.
It's begun to close for them. The rest of the division got better. Even the Patriots.
Yeah.
Like this division is, I don't know by what criteria we would judge the toughest division in football, but let's just say I see the most parity in this division than any other division in the league. The Dolphins definitely could surprise and win it all with a year better with their coach and their coaching staff and what they were able to do. Certainly we call him Sharon Rodgers, all that, all nicknames aside, at least in the regular season, they're gonna be a problem. And if the standard for the division since the Patriots, since Tom Brady left New England, if the Dolphins have been the banner holder, if you will, for that division, everybody been building towards beating them anyway. Josh Allen has been, he has to worry about those late game collapses that he's been the leader of. It ain't been him specifically, but I mean, he the quarterback of the team, so that's what you're going to focus on. I think the rest of the division has caught up quite significantly, and there's a lot more parity than any other division.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I agree. Double J, what say you?
Yeah, I'm going to kind of echo Gully's point there that it's not so much just what they've done or maintained, but everyone else around them has gotten better, which would make the road to the playoffs even more increasingly difficult.
Yeah. And the second part of that Bills portion of the AFC East, well, Connor McGovern, McGovern, 318 pounds, by the way, be used in the same fashion with Buffalo as a goal line fullback instead of Josh Allen?
If they had the sense that God gave a jackass, yes.
Oh my goodness, here we go. All righty then. Too bad I ain't got the buttons. Oh my gosh.
But hey, that's
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
No, simply put, it's either going to add fantasy value to the running back, not even this particular individual, or it again. I don't see them taking the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. That's kind of that could make or break the season, which is making my number 2 pick in the next week or two even more difficult with these super flex leagues. So
yeah, I just remember now. I don't know how many shows ago it was, but we had this discussion when we were doing some other prior to the NFL season talk, and going over the divisions and such. And I mentioned to Josh, the Bills are too Josh reliant. Stop using him like Lamar Jackson in almost too many often situations. Did I say that right? Yeah. Stop using your cornerback as a battering ram in situations. I tell you what, let them have they acquired McGovern from Double J and Brother Rich's favorite squad, the Dallas Cowboys, mind you, who used him in that same fashion. Why don't go get a guy like that who was known for doing that and then still use Josh Allen for that? Yes, cue the Jeopardy music is all I'm saying. Up next, the Miami Dolphins. We know what the offense can be with Tua.
Bill Parcells is back.
Oh, really? That's what you're gonna do? Yeah, all right. Yes.
Well, you the one said it. You said it.
I know I did.
Hey, these lunchtime for our host,
Right?
Yeah,
you ain't lying. I'm getting hungry, bro. Like, dude, that sounds good. Like a Subway 12-inch with the toasted wheat. Oh man, I can go for that.
You're a regular.
Whoa, okay. Come on.
The offense can be with Tua and Tyreek. Can Chubb, Bradley, Ramsey, Jalen, and Fangio, Vic do their part to put them over the hump? So a healthy Tua, we've seen what that offense can look like.
Yeah.
The question is, on the other side of the ball, will they come to the party?
Yeah, I think they'll show up bringing the drinks.
Man, Jalen Ramsey's overrated.
Well, if he is.
A toast. Burnt toast. Go ahead, Double J. I'm waiting for you. I already know you're sitting back. Yeah. Who's driving? You or Mrs. Alva?
No, it's me.
Nope. Okay. So you ain't no hands free, huh?
Headphones this time.
Okay, got you.
So basically, I do believe that
their destination is coming up on the right.
Yeah, I wish. I do wish. Being told I'm going too slow.
Wait a minute.
Anyway,
it's your fault that we're even.
Okay.
See
what you guys started.
Now, Mrs. Alva
just you knocked the whole hornet's nest down.
Oh my gosh, Mrs. Alva, how are you today?
How are you? Here you
are. I'm great. How are you guys?
Here, you take this. You can answer the question.
You are going to learn to be more respectful.
Hi. You know what you all sound like? The happy couple.
Yeah.
Dag nabbit, and I say all
That's how we know you in love.
Listen.
Y'all argue during the drive. You ain't in love until you had that drive time argument.
I'm trying to tell you.
We argue every time we do a road trip like this.
Oh boy, y'all.
So you all plan your road trip like, hey, let's do a road trip. Yeah.
We ain't argued in 3 weeks, honey. Let's go to Florida. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I turn.
L is for the way you look at
Listen,
me.
He wanted his.
When you missed the turn.
He wanted his icy lights, and the first place.
The Lucia from Pennsylvania.
The Lucia from Pennsylvania. And the first gas station didn't have it. The second gas station didn't have it. So we went up one exit. And it took us 40 minutes just to get the beer that he wanted. So don't let him try to blame me.
Oh, so that's what it is. So you mad, Double J? You over there miffed?
I wasn't saying anything. I sped up to try to make up for
trying to hurry
lost
up and
time.
go get the beer.
Oh, it's on board now safely. But,
it's on. Yeah,
okay.
it's in the coolers with ice.
Okay, I bet you got the cooler with the seatbelt on it, don't you? You got the cooler in the seatbelt.
Yeah, you're not gonna lose
the
that
car's too full.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, exactly. It's in the booster seat. All right, Mrs. Alba, please be safe. Yeah, try to ration out to Lucia doing the ride. If you are even doing that thing, I doubt it. I'm just saying. Okay, we need him for the rest of the remainder of the show.
Well, back to the program here. I do believe that the defense will be improved. However, you saw it fell short last season. Again, the same type of circumstances as Buffalo, where although you've gotten better, so has everyone else around you. In the case of the New York Jets, substantially. And I would argue, speaking of Miami, that some of the Patriots acquisitions, one of which came from there, I'm expecting a big year of production from as well.
That's right. And then on to the Patriots. Speaking of which, will Bill O'Brien and the addition of Ewok Elliott be enough to get Bill off the hot seat? Because apparently, according to those in the NFL circles, Bill Double B Check is on the hot seat, baby.
On the hot seat. The franchise's best coach, one of the best coaches in history. They're trying to move on from him, huh?
That's what I'm saying. Who they gonna go get? Joe Woods? Who the Patriots gonna go get to replace him? Yeah, Joe. That's Double J and Brother Rich's favorite guy, Joe Woods, by the way. Yeah,
that's terrible.
No, terrible nothing. Oh, please. How many times we sit on
here
on the
tape? Check the tape.
You don't want to.
I gave this guy 1 week to figure it out, and he, now all of a sudden I've given him a lifelong pass.
Nah, that's all it took for y'all to label me a Bills fan. All I said was they was improving, and then Brother Rich just named me how's the weather in Buffalo, and it's been like ever since.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say here. You don't want me to check the tape because I've checking the tape on previous occasions here too, and I'm trying to tell you. I said, man, the Browns defense thing. Oh no, give them another year and another week, and they'll be fine. Yeah, it's the hater in Cleveland. Then he shows me the dog bone chain that he bought, or Mrs. Alva bought. You know what I'm saying? And then the Browns drinking cups and such. Yeah, and then pictures of him at the stadium, like, yeah, where's our host at with his bunny slippers on and all that kind of referendums. Yeah, okay, got you. Yeah, all right. Anyway, do we think Bill O'Brien and the addition of will be the Patriots' savior this year, or is Bill out of there after this year? Double J, son.
Well, I think if anyone's out of there, it's going to be Mac Jones. He didn't have much help. It seemed eerily reminiscent of Tom Brady's last few years there. They've attempted to get some assistance around him. That's why I said at the very least I like the addition of Mike Gesicki. And at tight end, again, very Rob Gronkowski-esque in terms of speed and catching ability, which could be usually tight ends are a quarterback's best friend, especially on bad teams. So
that's the tight end from Cincinnati.
No, Miami.
Huh?
Yeah.
Gesicki went to the U?
No. Miami Dolphins.
Oh, I'm about to say, yeah, okay. Okay. No, but Gesicki, he didn't go. I'm talking about when I say Cincinnati, I meant the Bearcats.
Oh, Bearcats, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. I'm about to say. All right. Yeah. I'm with you, Gully. I got too many books over here behind me on this bookshelf from former Giants players, LT, Mark Bavaro, and a few other ones. And what they all said about, and then matter of fact, and I'm not going to Herm. When Herm played here with the Browns in '94, before they made the move, man, too many people I either know or have read about have said things about Bill Belichick for that. I don't care how many years later or after the fact it was, for them to be saying now, or even his name to even be mentioned on hot seat in the same sentence, is just mind-boggling to me.
Right.
And again, Double J, tell us. Let's say the Patriots do get rid of Bill Belichick. Who are they going to get to replace him?
Well, to me, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. You would have to look towards someone like a hot college coach, like maybe Lincoln Riley. Could you get Brian Kelly out of LSU after just 2 years if they have a successful season? Those are the immediate names that come to mind. Ed Ogeron is out there, currently unemployed, to my knowledge. So but again, there's not, is Saban going to leave Alabama? Absolutely not at this point. He's doing his hat is his version of Bear Bryant's at this point. So
Urban Meyer is available.
Oh, please. Absolutely not.
Well, can they get Jim Harbaugh out of Michigan, who's constantly, from the sounds of it, annually either looking for a raise or, making cheeseburgers for recruits.
Jim Harbaugh would be a great transition. I think Jim Harbaugh is still.
But he ain't going to ever be better than John, not at the next level. Remember now, when he was a quarterback, with the coach, he blew that playoff game against the Steelers. What happened? I'm just saying.
No, he didn't.
Oh, he
didn't blow that playoff game.
Yeah,
the Steelers got lucky off of Charles Johnson stepping out of bounds but still catching the touchdown. That's all it took.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Don't do that.
Your memory's better than mine. I see. Let me not have no recollection moments because I get lambasted up in here. My bad, bro. My bad. And then lastly, the New York Jets, Jets, Jets. And I only got one question. Can Rodgers finally put to bed his conference championship woes?
Yes.
Why?
They just signed
David Bakhtiari? Dalvin Cook?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But the offensive line is terrible. Terrible. Yeah.
Is it still terrible?
No, well, I can't say.
I don't think.
Listen.
I don't know.
They're looking into David Bakhtiari, from my understanding.
Is it terrible because of skill level, or is it because of like injuries?
That's a good question.
Because I'm thinking if Aaron Rodgers is making a decision to totally transition the rest of his career, you got to know that I'm going to the first 5 things I'm looking at before school districts or my kids or whatever else or any other things I'm looking at. Who are the 5 that's going to protect my blind side?
That's why they want Bakhtiari. But I think Bakhtiari is a guard, though. Well, you know what? You might be right about the whole injury thing, because I think in their last preseason game, I think they got like 3 starters on the offensive line that were out. One may just like do the rest, give him somebody else a chance, and I think the other 2 may have been because they're dealing with like little nagging type deal. So we'll see. But from my understanding, oh, there he's back. Oh, finally with the logo, some uniformity here. Thank you. From my understanding, the offensive line is, I don't want to say subpar. Well, I guess what else? Well, suspect, or are they one and the same?
I don't know. I'm going to lean on an aging quarterback.
Yeah, but you got to have Orlando, man.
What I'm saying is,
your liberty.
I'm going to lean on an aging quarterback who's a pocket passer, doing his due diligence about that line before signing with that team.
Oh, okay, I got you. I ain't signing up unless I got you.
Yeah, like the weapons is one thing, but if I'm at this age, it's
I can't get it to the weapons if I'm getting up off the ground.
And if Dalvin Cook, right, just signed up.
Yeah, 1 year, if I'm not mistaken. I forget how much.
Yeah, it's like a 1 year deal. I'm trusting that maybe that offensive line is improved enough. Now, to add Bakhtiari, isn't an indicator necessarily that the line is bad. But if I know a guy who knows the guy, he's always going to be a target.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm with you on that. Double J, what say you?
I like the acquisition, both of them for that matter. However, it's in fantasy. It's a disaster because you don't know who's going to start. Breece Hall prior to the injury was phenomenal.
Yeah, for sure. He was balling.
So it really was, and I had him, and I ended up winning, but not the way I would have liked. And so, but nevertheless, the addition of the offensive line, again, what that sounds like is the old Tom Brady stuff, right? Hey, even what Messi's doing in Inter Miami. So it's just, adding to the spoil of riches, but they have a very limited window. It is win now.
I'm with you on that. And then lastly, we got 2 bonus questions. All right.
All right.
Number 1 is, who wins the division?
Okay.
And I'm not, don't say from on paper. I'm not talking about from an on paper standpoint. I'm talking about from a practicality standpoint. Who wins the division?
I think the Dolphins win it. I think the Dolphins win the division. I think it's going to be a tough, man. I think it's going to be a very tough division. I think even the Patriots, everybody's so kind of even, man. I really think that put me on record, man. I got the Dolphins winning the division this year.
Double J.
I'm going to say the Jets, which hasn't been done, I don't think, since the Curtis Martin, Herm Edwards years.
Wait a minute. Neither AFC title, neither Sanchez team won the division.
Yeah, I think they did because I know they was in the AFC Championship. Sanchez was in the AFC Championship back
his first 2 years. Yeah, but neither one of those were division winners.
I don't believe so. I thought they were wild cards.
It's clearly possible. I mean, it's Mark Sanchez a quarterback.
Yeah.
So it was a surprise for them to get there. So
right.
They may have won one of them the year that what happened to Brady? Was it the Deflategate stuff, or remember where? Or no, I'm trying to remember who the backup was. Not Matt Flynn. He had a backup that just went off in week 17. I'm trying to remember the why behind that. Yeah, the Patriots as a whole had a backup, and that could have been because they had won the division.
That wasn't Garoppolo. Are you talking about? Are you?
No. This was before him, and I think it was Matt Flynn.
No, Matt Flynn was with Green Bay. Remember? And Matt Flynn had that same kind of game, and then that's why the Seahawks picked him up. Remember?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Yeah.
Oh my.
I can't recall either, but it wasn't the kid from Arkansas. Mallet. It wasn't Mallet.
Yeah,
was it?
no,
Ryan Mallet.
R.I.P. Ryan Mallet.
It wasn't Ryan Mallet.
He drowned recently.
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, R.I.P. for sure. Oh yeah. I forgot about that too. I know who you're talking about, Double J, but I can't think of the name.
You know what? One of their back-to-back conference championship years, they actually went 11-5, but the Patriots were 14-2 that year. That was 2011 when the Packers with Aaron Rodgers beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who was it, man? Now y'all going? Who was the time? Who was that? Who was the guy for the Patriots? Why is his name on the tip of my tongue, man? I can't even think of it right now. But anywho, now that's gonna mess with me all day.
Somewhere on the West Coast as well. Did Seattle swing and miss twice on these guys?
Who you mean? Who are you saying there? What are you talking about?
Well, they did it with Matt Flynn. We know that for sure, and they had to get him off the books when they had Russell Wilson. But who we need to find who this mystery guy is that we're referring to. and where he went after the fact for the huge deal that he had, and it wasn't Jimmy G.
Brian Hoyer, 2009.
Matt Castle. Was it Matt Castle?
Yeah. Yep.
There it is.
Yeah.
Matt Castle. It was Matt Castle.
And it's 30 miles an hour.
It's 55.
Right? It says 30 on my phone.
It says 50 right here, and I saw a speed sign.
You better speed up, bro.
Double J, you gonna get, man, you getting it.
Listen,
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, you hear that? She don't even care about the ticket at this point. She's just like, get us a police escort, apparently, by not stopping.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was Matt Castle. It definitely wasn't Scott Zolak. Now, of all the Patriots quarterbacks that I recall, since we on the Patriots right quick, in my lifetime, Scott Zolak had the strongest arm of all of them, even stronger than Brady's. But the problem is he couldn't locate it. He kept hitting the lady in the first row on the right side of the goalpost.
Okay, who had a stronger arm, Scott Zolak or Jeff George?
Jeff George.
Yeah,
Jeff
man.
George all day, every day. Even I watched him in Illinois, man. Jeff George had, Jeff George could put your eye out for real, but he too had a problem with overthrows. Anyway, between the AFC East or the AFC North right now, as it stands, which division do you think is tougher? Or should I say the litmus test? If you're on the road to the Super Bowl this year, you got to go which of the two, East, the AFC East or the AFC North, do you got to go through to get to the Super Bowl?
You're gonna go through both of them. I mean, not to.
Okay, well then, which one is the toughest of the two that you're gonna have to go through? Is what I'm saying, basically.
Remember, I said earlier, I think the AFC East has more parity. Those teams are a bit overall very close to one another. Parity is different from actual toughness, right? The Bengals and the Ravens, the Browns and the Steelers. First of all, no matter what's going on in Pittsburgh,
somebody gonna be beat up.
Yeah, the Browns have some work to prove. They really are the team that they got to prove themselves even more so than the Steelers.
Mike Tomlin, no losing seasons.
Yeah, he ain't never lost. Right.
And keep in mind, just as a reminder, the Steelers have had 3 head coaches in their entire. Oh, okay. Or since the 60s or 70s or something like that.
Yeah, in 55 years, they've had 3 head coaches.
Okay. Yeah, and in 3 years, the Browns have had 55 head coaches. And that would have been the laugh track right there. Okay, right. But and still they're gonna win the Super Bowl this year. Yeah, okay.
Because you know what? The if you look at the playoffs, right? You look at the Bengals and how they performed. They went to a conference championship last year. They were in the Super Bowl a couple years back. A couple plays here or there. They right Super back. Bowl champions. Yeah, they're right back. An actual flag being thrown on a play puts them back, but we already know the narrative.
We've seen that before.
Yeah, we've seen
some collusion. Yeah,
I've seen it too much to be upset about.
Ohio State, whatever year championship game that was. Everybody has already left.
Stop it! What a terrible example.
That's a great example. It's a terrible example. Why? Because you and the Lions are where the Browns have been. Go Lions! Anyway, everybody had already been on their way home, and then here comes the flag. And guess who was throwing it? Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer throws the flag. Yeah, okay. All right, then, says the Purdue alumni guy. Get him, Mrs. Alba. Get him. That's what you do. Last but not least, I just wanted to throw this out here. This is a bonus, yes, but maybe more so a proclamation, I guess. Don't take your eye off the Browns' DTR, D. Robinson, or the Rams' Stetson Bennett. These dudes might lightweight be the future of the not for long. We got a comment actually coming in right now.
Can I add one to that list before you read the comment?
Hold on. This is Doc weighing in. Yeah, Doc will weigh in, but he won't weigh up. Okay, I got you, Doc. Watch how you talk about my Lions, old man. Really? Really, Doc, you better be glad I don't have no buttons. You better be glad I got no
I'm
buttons.
talking about the Lions, bro.
Yeah, watch how you talk about my Lions.
The
Ain't
one
nothing.
team that has no room to talk about Browns fans are Lions fans.
Yeah, but I like the Lions though. That Hutchinson dude on that end, boy.
Hey,
If
man,
anybody could play a wide 9 technique, it's him.
Be honest with you, though. I tell you
boy, I don't know who our host favors more, the Cowboys or the Michigan Wolverines. It is just
absolutely not. Don't absolutely not.
My
Here we go again. Here we go again. Wait a minute. So you don't like the fact that Aiden Hutchinson's on the Lions? Hold on. How is a guy?
No. Hang on.
Michigan?
He's a family friend.
But he's a friend of the family.
Right.
You're giving me faux pas about. Really?
I didn't go there.
So wait a minute. How is it that a guy who lives in Michigan went to Purdue, but roots for the Michigan State Spartans?
No. We currently on order right now is a House Divided flag, which contains both.
Really?
Yes. I'm actually, if you want to put the missus into a sour mood, just talk to her about the quarterback getting the Old Miss or Auburn job.
And he was horrible anyway.
No, but what about your recruiting class? What about the recruiting class?
He was so bad. He's going to be horrible at Auburn too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, what about what was it? Where's Reed? Where's Reed?
Don't you start?
Yeah. See,
Double J, don't. Double J, don't try.
This is me throwing sand back in the sandbox. Okay.
No. Double J, don't try to use us as a means to try to make digs at Mrs. Alva on her Spartans. Don't do that.
Oh no, I asked if Tuck was still coming, but that I don't have to do it.
Why don't you ask him about basketball season and what happened during what was it? Who did they lose to? A balloon baby school?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Oh my gosh!
Wow.
There's a lot going on in the background over there.
Right.
State wasn't even good.
Keep your eye out for the Browns DTR and the Rams Stetson Bennett, though. I think these two are guys to watch out for in the years to come.
I'm going to add one more.
Okay.
Aiden it honestly has nothing to do with the affiliation, but Aiden O'Connell has been doing some, like, even eye-opening from my vantage point, things with the Raiders.
Aiden O'Connell, where's he from?
I said regardless of affiliation, there wasn't bias there. I was being genuinely honest. So yeah, I think you can connect those dots.
Is he from Purdue?
Yes, but that's not why. That has nothing to do with why.
Oh,
sure,
please.
The cradle of quarterbacks, just like the cradle of astronauts. But you know,
for the guy who loves to mention Purdue every moment, we could be talking hockey. He'd be like, "Hey, you know, Bobby Joe Jackson from Purdue was the best left winger ever since Gordie Howe."
No. I was just throwing an honorable mention that is doing some things I didn't personally expect.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, okay.
Now wait a minute. Who's the starter there at in
Purdue
in Las Vegas?
Well, at Purdue is Hudson Card, former Texas quarterback. And we also had 2 more Texas commits for 24 and 25. So there's that.
You know,
this dude, watch Ryan Walters, Barbershop Jay. You'll like this coach, a former defensive coordinator for Illinois last season. So he can recruit his behind off. And Graham Harrell is the OC. That, of course, that name should be familiar for, he played at Texas Tech under Mike Leach, runs the air raid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Graham Harrell did. He did ball out. So did Andre Ware. But we see where did that go? Speaking of Ware.
Well, hey, he's not under center for us. He's just calling the plays.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, guess what? I'm gonna keep my eye on him. Keep him on my radar, rather, so that the Browns at some point need to pick him up, because Kevin Stefanski is on the hot seat as a play caller. I'm just saying. Yeah. We had this discussion in the barbershop just like 2 days ago, bruh. Don't do it, Double J. Don't do it. I'll get Miss Alva on you again. Trust and believe. You don't want to be having to deal with that.
Just mention recruiting classes and decommits.
Yeah, got you. But anywho, yeah, DTR and Stetson Bennett. Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from them guys as in terms of young prospects. Okay. And Stetson Bennett is
Well, wait a minute. Hang on a second. Young prospects. This is where it's an interesting concept, right? We talk about
what I'm saying,
like Anthony Richardson, right? Anthony
Richardson
NFL versus a Stetson Bennett or an Aiden O'Connell. These guys are, they were 6-year quarterbacks. There's people that retired that played with Stetson Bennett, that being Sony Michel, that was on his team together, and this guy had won 2 Super Bowl rings and retired before Stetson Bennett took a snap, in the NFL, which is astounding.
But is Stetson Bennett a rookie or a veteran in the NFL?
That's by definition a rookie, but this is where it gets very interesting. You're seeing these older guys that are polished.
Yeah, well, they did the same thing in basketball. Seniors, Tim Duncan, will always pan out for the most part, better than the first one and dones. Okay. But by NFL standards, Stetson Bennett and DTR, who was not an 8th-year senior in college, just now coming in, it's on my radar. That's all I'm saying, Double J. Enjoy the drive up to Watkins Glen. Make sure you get me a souvenir.
About 20 minutes out, man. 20 minutes out. I couldn't be happier, and I know what very quiet, and I can feel the angst.
Yeah, you're going in amongst the trees again, or either that or Miss Alba is pulling the plug. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what it sounds like to me.
Skibbity paps.
Yeah, and on that note, I leave you with this quote. Laughter is an instant vacation, from the great late Milton Berle. Excuse me. It's been fun, but we got to run. Don't forget to check us out every Sunday at 12 on the PM side, right here on the yard. Or y'all can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the shop's fan page, and of course YouTube. And please, when you're over at the YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'd be much obliged. And if that don't work, y'all can Google it. For my mans, Be Rich, Double J, TJ, D Gully, Doc, and for all those who follow and support us, we say thank you. I'm Barbershop Jay, and you've been listening to the Shop Report. And remember, the next time y'all want to know what's really going on, man, come on to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. I promise you, at some point, I'm going to get my sound effects back, and I'm going to have better lighting. But until then, holla at us next Sunday, God willing. Double deuces. Peace. We out.